Both are oil-rich countries. One is the world's youngest and the other one of Africa's oldest. Both are reeling from sectarian strife and religious violence. How can South Sudan and Nigeria deal with the bloodshed? And what can they learn from Rwanda, a country that was mired in genocide 20 years ago? Hello, I'm Arnold Naidu, and this is The Heat. The world's youngest country has already sunk into civil war. Hundreds were killed in Bentiu, the capital of South Sudan's oil-producing unity state last week. The United Nations accused the rebels of massacring hundreds of civilians who sought refuge in a church, mosque and hospital after capturing Bentiu. The rebels, however, blame the retreating government forces for the killings. CCTV's Nick Harper has the story.
Bentiu's roads are lined with bodies. So many, the jaws of a bulldozer are used to shovel them up. These are men, women and children, 200 of them, killed for being ethnically different. Deeply disturbing scenes from a hate-filled conflict.
Bentiu was the scene of very targeted, deliberate violence. What I've so far seen in the mosque and in other parts of town has really been very, very heart-wrenching. Certainly atrocities have been committed here on a very significant scale.
The Dinka population of the town was targeted allegedly by the rebel soldiers of Nur ethnicity. Reports suggest the fighters were urged on by broadcasts on the town's radio station, just as the airwaves were used to promote killings in Rwanda 20 years ago. After briefing the United Nations Security Council in New York, the head of peacekeeping operations said this attack denoted a serious escalation in the conflict.
This cycle of violence that started on the 15th of December last year has to stop. It must stop immediately.
As such, the president of the Security Council said the possibility of sanctions had been discussed.
Most of us suggested using the principle of deterrence to send a message unequivocally to the parties responsible for this impunity, that it must not happen again.
But the worry is that it will. After last week's massacre, more than 22,000 civilians took shelter inside the UN's compound in Bentiu, where several hundred UN peacekeepers are keeping watch. China, who is the biggest investor in South Sudan's oil industry, says it will participate in UN Security Council discussions, and that it hopes South Sudan can achieve stability through dialogue with all relevant parties. Nick Harper, CCTV, New York.